Chapter 8, Part 2. "Excuse the interruption," came the voice over the PA. "Could the members of the football team please report to Gym 2 for a short team meeting?" I knew that every eye was on me as I stood up. It felt good. Being a football player at this school was something special. Occasionally we got called down to the gym for special meetings, or sometimes we'd leave early for an away game. I didn't care what it was for. I was just grateful to be getting out of class. The halls were empty except for other members of the team. Coach Pui was probably going to give us another one of his speeches. He'd be all hyped up and try to get us hyped up as well. Not because he thought we were in danger of losing, but because he wanted us to kill the other team. If only his voice didn't sound like he was sucking helium, those speeches might have worked better. I filed into the gym. It was already half filled with more guys coming in from different doors. We all gave high fives, tapped hands, or just nodded our greetings. It was a pretty good bunch of guys. "Can everybody please take a seat in the bleachers?" It was Principal Atkins. Standing beside him were both vice principals, Mrs. Willis and Mr. Spence. Had something happened to Coach? I had been wondering if he was going to give himself a coronary over these games. "We're going to keep this short," Mr. Atkins said. "I have had some disturbing reports about an altercation in the back hall this morning." My heart rose up into my throat and then sank back down to the pit of my stomach. "I've been told that members of the football team gathered in the back hall and were intimidating other students." There was a bit of grumbling from the bleachers. Besides the bunch of us who had been there, almost everybody else had heard about it. "The reports are that a student, a Muslim student, was targeted by members of the football team." "Nobody targeted anybody," Kevin said. "I was there." "You were more than simply there," the principal said. "According to the reports, you were the spokesperson for the group." "I was talking, but it wasn't like the whole football team or anything," he said, gesturing to the team in the bleachers. "It was just me and a couple of guys who wandered over to the back corridor. I wanted to talk to Hussein." "Is Hussein a friend of yours?" "Wouldn't know him if he bit me. I wanted to meet him to talk about the things he said in the paper, to tell him he was wrong, to find out why he thinks he doesn't belong. No prejudice here on the football team," Kevin said. "Look around." There were lots of black faces to go along with the white ones, 2 brown kids, Moose and Ali, and 1 Chinese kid. "Nobody threatened anybody," Kevin said. "And you don't think that simply asking to speak to him couldn't be taken as intimidation?" the principal asked. "I can't tell you what anybody is thinking," Kevin said, "but nobody threatened anybody. I just wanted to talk." Talking is good. In fact, I wish there could be more dialogue about this whole thing. What I need is for members of this team to take a leadership role in helping to keep things calm and orderly and normal around the school. He paused. "So I'm going to ask that members of the team refrain from assembling in the hall by the shop classes. I would ask that the Muslim prayer room be respected." Kevin put up his hand. "How about Moose? Can he go to the prayer room?" "Of course. Moose is Muslim." "And a member of the football team," Kevin said. "Anybody can try out for the football team. There's no prejudice on who gets picked or how they're treated." Kevin turned to Moose. "Right, Mustafa?" "No complaints from me. But I'm okay about not going to the prayer room if it would help." "No, that won't be necessary," the principal said. "I'm just trying to keep the school running without incident. We're trying to avoid anything that might be misinterpreted." "So do you want us to not talk to anybody who's brown?" Steve asked. "Talking is fine, but please avoid topics that might be contentious or potentially explosive." I didn't think that explosive was the best choice of words. Kevin put up his hand. "Yes, Kevin," he said. There was a tone in his voice like he was just hoping that Kevin would shut up. "So I guess it would be really bad for people to make statements like all Muslims are bad, right?" "That goes without saying." "How about a statement like all whites and non-Muslims are racist?" Kevin asked. The principal suddenly realized where Kevin was going with this question. "Or how about somebody saying it was okay to carry weapons to defend themselves, because all whites are racist, or maybe to defend the Muslim faith? Wouldn't that be, contentious or potentially explosive?" There was a ripple of conversation as different people all at once realized what Kevin was saying. Clever. "All those who say anything that even hints at intolerance or racism will be punished." "So has Hussein been punished?" Kevin asked. "We are not here to discuss our reaction to the newspaper article," he said. "We are here to discuss any other reactions. If there are incidents, we will be taking clear and decisive actions, including suspensions and, if necessary, expulsion." "For everybody?" Kevin asked. "Everybody. Christian, Muslim, Jewish, even captains of the football team. Does that answer your question?" "Completely," Kevin said, "and you can count on our help in following those rules." Kevin turned to face the team. Right, everybody?" Everybody shouted out in agreement. This was good. Much better than what could have happened if Kevin had found Hussein.